Good morning, everyone. Today is July 12th. Just barely. It's early. Today is day 4, I think. I keep messing up the numbers. I'm going by the date that the doctor called. So that was July 9th, which I won't forget that date. It's also my friend Ida's birthday. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So today's day 4. The reason why I'm doing this so early, well, early for me, it's like 6:30 right now. I've been up since 6. I've been up around 5 or 6 for the past couple days, not getting much sleep, though I slept better yesterday. By better, I mean like I think I got 6 hours of sleep, and I'm functional on 8. But I wanted to do this now because my kids are coming home today from, sorry, my hand hurts, from being at their father's for the weekend. So my stomach's been in knots. It's part of why I'm not sleeping, because I don't like keeping things from them. Before this happened, I hadn't said a lie since 2018, and it's now 2021. That's pretty cool. It's pretty freeing. And I feel like I'm lying by not saying something, but I know I have to do the right thing. And I do have a ton of stuff to do for work, so the timing is kind of good. That sounds wrong. You know what I mean. I'm not editing these in any way. I actually started like unfrizzing my hair with my hands, and I'm like, that's not what I want these videos to be. I haven't brushed my teeth yet. I still have my retainer here from overnight. But yeah, my future, I'm going to tell the kids on Wednesday. I just said that I needed both of them to be home. So just to like, book an hour in their schedule to have like family time. That's not really how I worded it. And this kind of stuff I think is helpful. Like, this is why I'm doing this. Like, it's partially therapeutic for me, but it's also for other people. Because, like, if you're a single parent, it's like you're it for your kids. And I want to make sure I'm doing this the right way for them, because they mean everything to me. And I need to have the right vocabulary to tell them, and tell them in a way that's not like scary. And tell them in a way that's informative, because they're really, really smart kids. So, yeah, tomorrow, they'll be home in a little bit, but tomorrow I go in for my appointment with the breast surgeon. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna vlog, before or after. It's not gonna be from home because my kids will be here. Oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah. Good news though, TMI, I don't know. I feel like this entire video thing is TMI, but my pap smears, if you're a guy and don't know what that is, look it up. And if you're a woman who doesn't know what that is, you better get to your doctor and get a pap smear. As long as you're not 5, because that'd be gross and creepy. I don't know why I just said that. Anyway, my pap smear came back normal, which was fantastic. Which tells me that there's nothing going on in my cervix, though I do have a colposcopy scheduled tomorrow for a positive HPV test, which a lot of people have positive HPV tests. Just happens. I've had them twice before. but I don't like that this will be my third consecutive one, which is why I'm a little leery, but happier yesterday when I got the results that the pap smear was negative, was normal. I read negative for malignancy, and I was like, yay! Finally, someone cuts me a break. Yeah. So, weird, interesting side thing. And I am going to film an episode, of my talk show at the studio at Bedford TV, on Friday. I don't feel like I'm giving away too much information because, I mean, people know that I do a show at Bedford TV. And my regular talk show just needs to be on hiatus. I need to focus on me. And right now it's going to be these vlogs that I know how to use Final Cut. I don't intend on using Final Cut for these. I know how to edit. I have some cool songs, whatever. That's not what these videos are about. So if you're expecting bells and whistles, not going to happen. The bells and whistles that you get are my sense of humor and my smart-assness. I do have to Google, though, about how it works with profanity, because I find the first 3 videos I did, I was cursing, and I don't know if that's going to get flagged for something. So if you know that, please comment below and let me know. It'll just save me some research time. And links would be helpful of where you found out the information about that. Like, I don't want to make this show into homework or a show. This isn't a show. It's my life. I guess my life is a show. Whatever. Isn't everyone's life a show? So yeah, we'll see what things will look like, but this past weekend's been really quiet. Last night was tough. My post yesterday, or my video, was like all empowered, and then I got home after my drive. I did the vlog, and then it was really quiet, and I like quiet, but not for that long. And it was the first day that I didn't have anyone at my apartment to kind of process this with, and I didn't like it. I've done a lot of work on myself, so I'm not, you know, I'm very independent, though I hate to be alone, if that makes sense. I can be alone. My energy is fueled by other people. And I just didn't like the quiet, and then it started getting to me, and then my head started going, and that doesn't work for me at all. I started thinking, and my stomach was just a mess last night. Ugh. And that usually happens for me when when my nerves start up. Not like in a manic way, it's just like my head is functioning and thinking about things, and I think my body doesn't even realize. I'm very intrigued with this process with the whole mind-body connection, because I definitely feel like as smart, like academically, as you think you are, or you may be, whatever. Like I was very successful in school, like high school, like I was fine, but like college, I had a 3.89 for undergrad and a 3.93 GPA for graduate school. And I've always been successful in the jobs that I've had. But I feel like my body just knows so much, and it doesn't always link together with your brain. I find it super intriguing. Like right now, my right armpit smells so bad. I can smell it from here. I laugh because when you have certain imaging as a woman, maybe as a man, I don't know, but you're not supposed to wear deodorant or lotions. And I like wearing lotions, and I find it a necessity to have deodorant. And as I've gotten older and started perimenopause and stuff, you sweat more. So you definitely need to make sure you keep up on it. Like I even keep one in the console in my car. But my body is off because so yesterday was the first day that I showered. Not ever. Yesterday was the first day that I showered since I had all my testing done, because they told me to wait 24 hours. And I think I waited 48. I wasn't really seeing anyone anyway. It's just that I wasn't ready to see myself or like be like fully nude. And I'd taken the band-aids off of the biopsy injection things where they put the needles in, but the steri tabs were still there. And I took them off yesterday. So I'm noticing more, like, as I'm looking in the mirror, and I don't remember if I talked about this yesterday. I don't think I did. How my right breast does look so different from my left. And I feel like you can't overanalyze that, because I don't want anyone to get paranoid about like, oh my God, my breasts aren't the same size either. I don't think anyone's are. But like, now that I know that I have breast cancer and where it is, I do notice these things. And it's, you know, because I'm getting older, it's subtle to the point that like I wouldn't automatically jump to that conclusion that I have cancer. But, and part of where my head was going yesterday was I noticed about 1.5 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago, that I got these 2 spots on my legs, like on my thighs. And I even remember showing them to my internist. It had to be 2019 in the summer, because it was before COVID happened. I remembered showing them to my internist and asking her about them, and I thought that they were age spots, or like not even skin tags, because I've seen pictures of what those look like, but they weren't there before. It was just the 2. So I showed them to her, and she wasn't worried about it. But then my head goes like, maybe they're not. Maybe there's something wrong with them. And I need to write down in a journal to remember to ask well, she's a breast surgeon. I don't even know. I assume I get an oncologist. I have no idea. I'm not there yet. But I want to put the pieces together, because like I see that and I'm like, okay, is that linked? You know, I'm having a colposcopy tomorrow. My pap is normal, which is great. But with the HPV test coming back positive, which happens, it's common, you know, that means that there's precancerous cells that they see on your cervix. So is that linked together? Oh, I have this like weird spot, like I have 0 makeup on. Whatever. One of these days I'll have good makeup on. But I had this spot on my face, and like my skin, I have spots and freckles and whatever, but like my skin is very, very soft. I'm very blessed with its genetics or whatever it is to have like younger looking skin. I feel like a commercial. Like I have a ton of freckles, and some of them, I think the darker ones are age spots. But the spot down there isn't like this. This is like totally flat. The spot down there is elevated a little bit, almost like a beauty mark, I guess. It just looks different from my other ones. But I've had this one spot here, which I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell. It feels different. Like it feels like something. Just because it's elevated, almost like I got a bite or something that just never went away. And then I'm like, and I'm super fair skinned, so my skin's sensitive to the sun. So I'm like, oh gosh, like, you know, is it on my face too? Is it everywhere? You're wondering like how far does it extend? And the radiologist did tell me that she checked my lymph nodes under my armpit on the right side, and did not see anything, which is, I don't actually know where the camera is, where I'm even looking. So if I'm not looking at you, I'm sorry. And she saw nothing in the lymph nodes, which is good. And the breast surgeon is going to do some sentinel nodes, something or other, where they check that too to see if it's spread. But still, my monkey head is going, whether that comes back positive or negative. You know, the fact that I had these other marks or things that are different for me makes me worried. And I think that's where my head's going, which is why I'm not sleeping well. and when my stomach has totally been in knots. And you would think that I'd be losing weight because, like, when my stomach gets in knots, like, you know, I'm in the restroom. But my stomach yesterday was so big and hard. I just got really upset, and I called my one of my good friends and asked if she could stop by, and she was driving back from New York, and I didn't realize she was the one who was driving, so she was exhausted, and she had showered, and then she's like, can I eat first? And I was not in a good place, and I was worried I was going to have a panic attack, and I just was not. Oh, my head was hot. I should take my temperature. My head was warm, my fever, not fever, but my temperature was like 98 point something, and my temperature is always 97.1. When I had COVID, that was one of the first signs, and it was like, something's wrong. My temperature is always 97.1. I rarely get a fever. And my head was hot. I still feel warm now too. I don't know what that's all about. And it's not warm outside. Anyway, I'm all over the place, and sorry, but that's how I am when I'm feeling fine. You got to keep up, because my mind just goes in a million places. But I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, so she came over, and I'm like, I just needed a hug. I think I just needed to see someone. I went all day really without seeing someone besides the waitress at the diner, who I do know, and she's awesome, but doesn't know what's going on. And I just needed to see a familiar face and to just get a hug. I'm a tactile person. I like hugs. So one thing to ask for, like when I do my wish list of things that I need, groceries, rides, whatever, and hugs. Unless you're really creepy and have bad body odor out of your armpits, then I won't ask you for a hug. Although it's good because it means that my sense of smell came back from COVID, so yay. But yeah, that to me is so interesting. And by the way, if you're, I don't know if I should be using people's names or not when I do these things. But that one friend that came yesterday, like, I'm just so grateful. Anyhow, my right armpit stings, but my left armpit doesn't really, which is so intriguing to me. Like, they did a biopsy on the left side. They found a 0.5 centimeter mass on the left side, but it was benign, and it was benign. But my left armpit doesn't smell that bad. And not that I normally smell my pits to know, well, maybe one side always smelled worse than the other. I just find it really intriguing that, like, my right armpit is like as soon as I hang up with this or press stop, whatever, I'm going to go wipe it off. I mean, that's right where they did the biopsy. That's where my big mass is. And it's not that it hurts. I also last night I took my sports bra off and thought I would be more comfortable with no bra and just like lounging around in like a t-shirt and stuff and sweats. But even sitting down with no bra on was just not comfortable at all. My boobs almost felt foreign to me, which I didn't like. They feel a little foreign to me now. Like I'm a good person. And like naively, I never get why, like, crap. I'm trying not to curse. Crappy things happen to good people because it's not fair. But I get that life isn't fair. It just is. But yeah, they felt foreign. They felt weird. And granted, they're sore. They had needles jammed into them. Whatever. But they don't look like mine. And maybe that's just as well. It's almost like a warning. Like, like when you're about to get divorced. Here's a good analogy. It's not what you remembered. And you can't really change them unless they're willing to change themselves too. But you have to do the work. So the work I'm doing is, well, they told me chemo, radiation, and surgery. The work they're doing is not working for me. But yeah, they felt foreign, and I got up and I just held them up and went back and put a sports bra back on. Thank you to my friend Julie too for getting me like really cute looking sports bras. So I'm gonna finish up because like I don't want to use a tripod. This is shaky, and it actually hurts my hand to hold the phone up. But I know that like I should be holding the phone up here, but I don't want you guys seeing my full bedroom because it's a little bit weird. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you would prefer that I just be, like, woo, I can hold my phone around. You can see my pretty painting up there. Or I didn't paint it, but whatever. Or if I should use a tripod. I kind of don't want to use a tripod. Yeah. I don't think I want to use a tripod. I don't know. Let me know visually what, for you guys, if you're like, oh my God, I have a headache because your hand's moving around so much, let me know. And my hands do start to shake when I get anxious. It hasn't happened in years. I mean, I've been anxious in years. It's just that my hands haven't shaken to the point, that it's that bad when I have anxiety. And my blood pressure's up, which really blows. I have fibromuscular dysplasia. Also Google, because it's not necessarily rare, but underdiagnosed. It doesn't really affect much of, again, it affects my body, but not really too much in how I change my lifestyle, which is great. I need to actually reach out to Pam Mace, who runs the FMD Society of America. She's fantastic. I can just like call her and have a conversation with her. Because I am curious, with FMD, at least for me, it affects the blood flow, or not just the blood flow, but it affects the structural wall. Here's your like 30-second science, lesson, whatever. It affects the walls of your arteries, so the fibers that make up your arteries are basically not stable. So at any point, like if I had a third hand, I'd show you, the fibers can just like shoot across and like basically cut your artery in half, or which that could eventually kind of lead to an aneurysm. I don't have any aneurysms. I've never had a big event like a stroke or anything. And that would be the biggest concern, is but it increases your risk of stroke. So I've been on Bayer since that happened, and I was told that all adults over 50 should be on Bayer anyway. So it's not like it's a huge life changer that I'm on Bayer. When I had the biopsies done, it was just something like, you have to be off the Bayer for a couple of days, because they don't want you bleeding a ton when they're going in for the biopsy. And I think I was only off of it for one day because I had to go in right away to have the biopsy done. So there wasn't much of a heads up. But I am curious about the FMD when it comes to surgery, because I've never had surgery before. I've had oral surgery before, but never surgery like anywhere, significant. I've only been knocked out once for a colonoscopy, and that was it. So I'm curious. Well, not curious. I just need to advocate for myself when it comes to that. And I realize I'm starting a lot of things and then just not coming around to finish them. But my head is like all over the place. Another interesting fun fact that I didn't mention before too was my teeth. I mean, I've had bad teeth since I was little. I just didn't really, I don't think even used floss really when I was little. Didn't really take care of my teeth very well. And I mean, they look pretty now. Oh, except for these two, which are chipped. But a lot of my teeth are crowns. And then I had Invisalign. I had braces when I was a teenager. I had Invisalign in my 40s, because my teeth started shifting to the point of like physically hurting, which happens a lot for people who've had braces. Your teeth just shift forward anyway. And a lot of times you need to have braces again. And I clench my teeth at night, so that's why I wear my retainers, which is actually kind of looks like an Invisalign tray, to keep my teeth from like, getting worn or anything. But what was weird, maybe I did mention this. I don't think I did. What was weird was that at my last, like with COVID going on, with the pandemic going on, obviously dentists were shut down too, because like there's a virus that's highly contagious and the death rates, higher than anything since what they compare it to the Spanish flu. So anyway, I when I went to the dentist for a cleaning, my dentist called and said I had 6 cavities. This was back in December. So what's 7 months ago? She said I had six cavities, and I'm like, what? Like I have, oh, and then I needed a root canal. Like I haven't had 6 cavities, like in a visit that someone noticed since I was like 12. And I'm like, what the heck? And granted, like I do own up that like when the pandemic happened and you're home all the time, like your schedule's not consistent. So I wasn't necessarily like, keeping with the same routine of brushing my teeth and flossing and using a water pick or whatever. Or even falling asleep sometimes without brushing my teeth because I just like conk out. But I'm like, 6 cavities, that's really weird. And I don't know what the relation is, but I do think that there's some relation of like my body is off and my teeth have just been another example of like why my body's off or how my body's been off. So I have, I had the fillings taken care of, and like I'm clearly not super vain, but like when it comes to my teeth, I had so much work on my teeth. Like I had the silver fillings I had were like, they expand over time as they were cracking my teeth, and then I had to have caps and blah, 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 blah. One of the caps I forgot to go back to have the permanent put on, so they had to put an implant in. Oh my God. So I now have 4 titanium pieces in my body, which do not set off metal detectors. I gotta talk quieter because I don't know when my son's coming home. And I have to wrap up. But yeah, the weird thing about my teeth, I had the 6 cavities, I had the root canal done, and then when I was having the scans for the root canal, the dentist or the endodontist, I think it was, told me I needed a second root canal because I thought the root canal was up here because that's where I was having pain, and they're like, no, it was, I can't remember, I think the other side. And I'm like, what? So I'm like, but I've been having pain there. And there was an abscess or something. And they checked it out. And he's like, yeah, you need a root canal there too. I'm like, I need 2 root canals and 6 fillings. Like, what the heck? So I had them done. And then I'm like, okay, my teeth are good. I had cracked my lower retainer. Could have been out of frustration. Plus, they're not meant to last super long. These thin plasticky ones. But a piece on the end came off, and maybe, I don't know if I was stressed. Maybe the kidney stone happened around then. That was before. I don't know. But regardless, these teeth are caps. My son, I mean, this one was a cap just because I had fillings that cracked over time. This one, you're learning a lot about me. Well, whatever. It's a fun story if you ever meet me in real life. Fast forward. These are caps, and I noticed that it was chipped, and I've had these caps for like 15 years. So I'm like, caps only last so long. Okay, that's fine, normal, whatever. But you can't bond a cap. You have to replace it. But if you replace one front tooth, because they're your front teeth, you usually have to replace like them in bulk. Because you don't want like one shiny tooth that doesn't totally match the other one. It just doesn't aesthetically look good. But yeah, it chipped, and I didn't really think much of it. And then she put bonding on it and said, like, we'll see how long it lasts. And then I had COVID, ate a piece of crunchy bread, which was my mistake to eat like hard crusted bread. and then chipped the, bonding off, which, like, whatever. And then went back, and I'm like, can you just fix it again? Like, I won't eat hard, crunchy bread. And she fixed it again, and I notice it. I don't know if you notice it, but well, now you'll not notice it. Now you'll not notice it. But it's chipped again, and I don't plan on having it fixed until this whole drama is over. So now you'll just always look at that tooth. But this tooth chipped, and then the one next to it, which was fine, has a little nick on it too. So I'm like, is there some relation that your whole body is off? That even like in your mouth, things are impacted. I mean, it is what it is. Like, if, I'm not that vain that like having a ship is gonna like destroy my life, but having a talk show and being on air and stuff, I like to have pretty front teeth. And no one else notices, and I just don't care right now. I have bigger fish to fry. So yeah, that whole mind-body connection is kind of where I wanted to be today. And listen to your body. Notice things. Don't be paranoid. It's not like you're like, oh my God, I have a gray hair, like I have this, whatever. It's not that. Oh, and my hair falling out that I mentioned before, I found out that my shampoo that I use just got recalled because it causes hair to fall out. So that probably has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. So that was just a side note. Yeah. So I'm going to stop there because my kids should be home soon. And I want to get to work because I do have a lot of stuff that's due. And that's going to be tough too because they don't know yet. I'm going to tell them later on this week, which is going to be hard. And then I am booking studio time to film Neighbors to Know is my talk show. It's a really good show. I'm very proud of it because of my guests, but I can't be focusing on that right now because I'm turning the camera on myself and not getting all dolled up. You get what you get. So I'm going to film on Friday just to fill in people that, show's taking a hiatus. I'm not still quite sure what to do with these videos. Right now they're just like privately stored. Look at that. Like I just went like this and like with the hair. I don't know if that's the shampoo or what the heck. But I'm gonna hang up now. So the moral is just be aware of signs that your body's giving you. Because as smart as you are, sometimes your head just doesn't go there. And often we think of ourselves last. And I do want to end with some gratitude. I want to start my mornings with gratitude. So what I'm grateful for my friends. And sometimes there's people that like you don't always expect to step up because you might not know them super well, but then they come to know them super well. But they step up in ways that you just don't expect. Like driving probably 6-7 hours, maybe longer than 7 hours, and then not even eating dinner yet to come over to give your friend a hug. That's friendship. What am I grateful for? Today I'm grateful for my hair. I had a really good hair day yesterday. It's getting pretty long. I like my hair. But I also like to play with my hair. So like when and if I lose my hair, I've always wanted to have blue hair. And my hairstylists have always discouraged it because you have to bleach your hair, which I have done before, not totally, but in pieces. But then like it makes your hair like brittle and could make it fall out. If it's gonna fall out anyway, it's gonna be kind of cool to have blue hair. So I'd say I'm grateful for my open-mindedness, and that I feel like the losing hair thing is almost an adventure. I do plan on getting a second piercing in my ear. Might as well have funky ears if I'm not going to have hair. What else am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my kids. Like always. They're 16 and 20. Actually, my 16-year-old's going to be 17 soon. And I know they're bright boys, young men, and they're good people. And I have plans in place. I'm going to hire a cleaning lady again, take some of the load off, and reach out for the help that I need to take stuff off my son's plate. My older one will be back at school, at college. I'm proud of them. They're two amazing, amazing young men. And they have my back. I know that. And I'm proud of myself for raising them that way. But I'm grateful to my boys that they're here. And even when my older one goes back to school, like, he's been very successful at school and he's got big things in his future, and I don't want him to stay home. I don't mean that in a selfish way or whatever, or selfless, whatever way. I don't mean that like he should just like go away. What I mean is, like, I don't want him to give up like even a semester of his life and his journey because of this. Like, I have people here, and he's on a well-planned journey right now, and it'll make me so happy to see him on that journey. And my younger one, I'll have plans in place. We'll figure stuff out. He's looking at the college process, and I don't know what visits will look like, but we'll sort it out. And I'll schedule some fun in there. What I want to do is get a convertible manual car rental and just like go for a ride. I miss driving a stick. It's fun. I'm just so proud of them. My younger one's starting drum lessons again today too. And I love hearing him play and doing his thing. Okay, that's it. All right, that was long. But we'll see what things are like tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. So for today, I'm Jen. Have a good day. Bye, everyone.